You know, sometimes the most profound lessons come from the most unexpected places. Imagine this, a tiny ant giving a sermon to one of the most powerful kings who ever lived. It sounds incredible, right? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're exploring Surah An-Naml, or the chapter of the ant, to uncover some really timeless lessons on power and humility.
So, here's the big question for today. What on earth can an ant, a king, and a prophet teach us about what it means to be truly powerful? I mean, it sounds like the setup to a joke, doesn't it? But stick with me, because their interwoven stories reveal something incredibly profound about the true nature of power.
All right, so where do these stories come from? We're looking at Surah An-Naml. It's a chapter from the Quran revealed back in Mecca. And these 93 verses, they're not just stories. They're meant as a source of guidance for believers. They really zoom in on some big ideas like prayer, humility, and faith in the hereafter.
Our journey kicks off with the prophet Musa. You might know him as Moses. And his story, it's a classic conflict, really. It's all about pure faith going head-to-head with overwhelming worldly power.
It all starts with this really striking image, a man, all alone in the desert. Near a place called Mount Tur, the prophet Musa sees a fire in the distance. He thinks, great, I can bring some warmth back to my family. So he walks towards it, having no idea that this is absolutely no ordinary flame.
That fire, it was a signal, a divine call, and in that moment, something incredible happens. God speaks directly to Musa, and he gives him a mission that is frankly terrifying. Go confront the tyrant Pharaoh and give him a message of truth.
And right here, this is the heart of the whole conflict. On one side, you have Musa. His power comes from his faith. It's all about humility and trusting in something so much bigger than himself. On the other side, Pharaoh. His power is built on pure arrogance, pride in his stuff, his kingdom, and just rejecting any truth that might challenge him. So this gives us our first big insight. Worldly power, when it's not checked by humility, it just makes you blind.
Okay, now let's switch gears and look at a totally different kind of challenge. We're going to meet the prophet king Sulaiman, or Solomon. For him, the test isn't about confronting power. It's about what you do when you have all of it.
And let me tell you, his power was just immense. He wasn't just a king, he was blessed with this profound knowledge. He ruled a magnificent kingdom, sure, but he also commanded armies of humans, spirits, and animals. He could even control the wind itself. We're talking about more than just political power. This was mastery over nature.
So one day, Suleiman is on the march with his massive army, and he overhears this tiny voice. It's an ant, and it's warning its colony, hey everyone, get inside so Suleiman and his soldiers don't crush you unknowingly. That word is so important, unknowingly. The ant isn't assuming he's evil, it just knows that sometimes the powerful are completely unaware of the small.
So how does the most powerful king on earth react to being called out by a tiny ant? Does he get angry, annoyed? Nope, he smiles. And in that moment, he turns to God and just says, thank you. He expresses gratitude for his blessings, including this incredible gift of being able to understand this humble little ant. This is where we learn that real power isn't about arrogance. It's about profound gratitude. That's the anchor that keeps you grounded.
This all leads us to our final story, and it's where the lessons from both Musa and Sulaiman really come together. It's the story of the Queen of Sheba.
So one of Sulaiman's subjects, a bird called a hoopoe, comes back from a long journey with some wild news. He's found this faraway kingdom, Sheba, and it's ruled by this incredibly powerful queen. But for all their wealth and power, they're spiritually lost. They're worshiping the sun instead of the one who created the sun.
Her journey to the truth is just this fascinating transformation. I mean, she starts from a place of huge power, worshiping the sun. Then she gets this simple message from Sulaiman inviting her to believe in one God. And as she investigates, she witnesses a wisdom and a power so much greater than her own. But instead of fighting it, her response is amazing. It's this willing submission where she just declares, I submit to Allah, the Lord of the worlds.
And you know, that kind of submission comes from a much deeper understanding. The surah actually walks us through it, asking these really powerful questions. Just think about this for a second. Who sends the rain from the sky to bring a dead, barren land back to life? And let's go even bigger. Who created all of it? The heavens, the earth, everything you see, and everything you don't. These questions, they're designed to make us pause and really think about where all the power in the universe actually comes from.
So when you put it all together, what are the big takeaways from these stories? Well, from Sulaiman, we learn to be grateful for everything, even for something as small as the whisper of an ant. From Musa, we see just how powerful humility can be, even when facing a tyrant. And from the Queen of Sheba, we learn to have an open heart and accept the truth when we see it. Really, all these stories are an invitation to just look around and reflect on the signs of creation.
And that, of course, brings the whole lesson right back to us. Because we all have power in our own lives, right? In our families, at our jobs, in our communities. So the real test, the ultimate question is, how are we going to use it? Are we going to go down the path of arrogance, like Pharaoh? Or are we going to choose the path of gratitude, like Sulaiman? That's the choice these ancient stories are asking every single one of us to make.